Hi, everybody, and welcome to the bonus session here at exp.world and framevr.io. Unfortunately, we're not going to speak about framevr.io and exp.world so much now, but I just wanted to give a bonus building on the last session on monetizing exp.world, going through collaboration, but also I wanted to show you a couple of things how I monetize on every single client and maximize that monetization through automation, passive income, active income, etc., etc. So I just wanted to I did actually prepare a little bit of work here because I do feel that if you look at a more traditional brokerage where you sit usually at a 50-50 split and then you come to EXP and then you become an independent agent where you can make partnerships and you can set your own business. It is actually the perfect space, the perfect kind of environment to now come loose from being an agent, come see yourself as a CEO, scale up, create passive income streams, leverage your team, leverage expertise of other people and partners to then create more income. And that more income, everything above the 50-50 split that you have with your agency with any traditional brokerage, where EXP sits at the 71% going to the 96% once you cap, all that extra income is basically where scaling resides. That is the money that you can put back into your business from for as marketing, or you can put it into investments for your personal self into property or shares or gold or art or raw materials or art or whatever it might be. Um, and people. I believe one of the best investments you can do is in people. The best person that you can invest in is yourself through learning, through playing, and through enjoying yourself and being eager to motivate yourself to grow and evolve. So I will take my file here. It's not pretty, but I just did it a bit quickly to give you a bit of a comparison. All right, so here we see if I scroll up a little bit, we have a client. Yeah, so if you do a transaction for a sales transaction, we have a client, John Doe. He wants to have a property of 10 million rand. Michiel here is a buyer's agent. So I represent John Doe. Grant, a team member of mine in my downline, first downline, um, he is the listing agent. So let's say he has a beautiful property and the offer comes in at 10 million rand. Yeah, we always charge a commission of 5%. I don't go to 7%, 5% is max. I also don't negotiate anymore to go lower. I work at 5%, take it or leave a deal. I know my value, and this is how you should go about it as well. But 7% to me, if it's everything above the million rand, above the 7%, I find quite a bit high. So this gives me quite good business. This is my sweet spot. So we have a split here, 50-50. I split everything from day one with any agent, whether it's you with in my team, whether you're outside of my team within EXP, or if you're with another agency. I don't care about that. I just want this property to be sold as fast as possible for the best price. So if I don't have a client, I have someone that that want to come in with the buyer. From day one, I say, okay, let's go, let's sell it. So 50-50 split. And then you see that my split before split with my agency is 250,000, as much as a grant as well, 250,000 rand. All right, so I did a bit of a mock-up here on my side of things, how my revenue streams work and how grants revenue streams will work as well if you are with EXP South Africa. So as you might know, I put here not capped and capped. Does it mean? What's the difference? Capping, if you're not capped, is basically in the beginning when you work with EXP, and every year your capping value is reset. So it means that now you work at 71% commission. Once once EXP's part reaches the 29% of EXP is split into 4% transaction and 25% commission split. So the commission split is 25%. Let's say that reaches 150,000 rand. Then EXP says, "Oh, thank you so much. for being one of the best producing agents in the EXP. From now on, you can make. We don't need any commission split. They do, however, take 4%. That's why once you kept, you're sitting at the 96%. That's what I calculated here. Yeah. So basically, your commission splits sit at this amount once you're not kept. On that amount, this is, if you can see here, this is a 5% that we choose as an EXP agent to put an equity share, meaning that you now buy revenue share. Um, and now that means that you have 5% put into stocks of EXP World Holdings that hold a lot more companies than just the real estate. Uh, so here I put 0.55. Why do I put 0.55? 0.0.5 because we get actually 10% discount on the trading of the shares. So that means that I actually get 5.5% of my capping value on my commission part, yeah, as the agent commission. So this is actually what your commission will be coming from this directly. Then, if it's my first reward, if it's my first deal in the year, I get 2,000 Rand worth of shares. If I'm capping, I get 4,000 worth of shares. If it's my first deal of my team member, then I get 4,000 Rand of shares. Why did I put it in here? That is because Grant will do his, let's say it's his first deal, then this, if this would be his first deal, then he will be producing now. I will get 4,000 Rand of shares to say thank you, Michiel, for teaching Grant how to become producing and to have producing, to attract producing agents in the business. Now, this is now where it starts to become interesting with partners because I have quite a bit of partnerships and I haven't put everything in here. But look at this, I have international money transfers. I put in 50,000 Rand, which is actually undercharged because for a 10 million Rand property, I will be able to probably get closer to 80,000 Rand in commissions. But I put 50,000 because I can sit at 50% profit share where you guys, EXP agents sit at 30 or 35%. If you are within my team, you get 35%, so 5% higher than other agents within EXP. So you can see that with Grant, you don't have these numbers here. The reason why is because I am a buyer's agent. And this is what I believe is the positive side of being a buyer's agent. That's why I like to do both. Who controls the stock controls the market. That is absolutely true. It's very important to have your own stock. However, if you have clients that want to buy property, let them pay you a consulting fee so that they show that they're not time wasters, because it is more difficult to work from a buyer's perspective due to loyalty and to many other factors. But if you can show if they can show that they're willing to pay 10,000 Rand consulting fee, then after the deal is done with you, then you pay it back. If they do a deal behind your back with someone else, you still have monetized on that. I would also immediately let them, register here, and I'll show you that here with currency partners. Is basically just a link that you go to. Oh, that's my mistake. Refer someone, just as little, just easy as this. I put the names and so forth, and I put referred by Michiel. Next few hours or the next day, they will call the client, and you will be registering them for you. Oh, you will be registering them. I'm just gonna close this one. It's just a little bit much happening here. All right, so that's why if you register them right away, then you already put them into the system. And whether they are doing bank transfers internationally to South Africa or out of South Africa, or even when South Africa is not included, you will be making money on a monthly basis as long as they're clients with them and do transactions. So I just put it here as a once off the 50,000 Rand on this transaction, but you will see as well that I put here international money transfer because they have to pay their rates, their levies. Maybe they buy furniture, maybe they buy other stuff, maybe they come here on a holiday, need to have money on their bank account and have to transfer money here if they're not making their own money. If they're making if they put it on Airbnb, then basically you have to set up a bank account, which is now also somewhere where you can once make a once-off deal with certain partners. Also, bond originating is something that happens a lot, but as we see here, this is now an international cash sale. But that could also be, a bond of a local, of a South African person that wants to invest in property. You can get revenue on there as well. However, bond originating is not a passive recurring income. This is more a once-off deal. Yeah. And then what I have forgot to mention here is that, on my EXP side of things, I still have still the revenue share of my team. Yeah, so that means that the 250,000 Rand that Grant is making, I also will make 3.5% commission on that. Yeah, so that means that I will be making here on this deal 5,901, well, almost 6,000 Rand basically. So if you would calculate everything together without the passive income streams, you sit here at 241,000, which is basically almost as much as what you will make, of what your gross commission is that is still need to be split with EXP. Yeah. So you can see that you can really almost work at, well, if for me this is a bit higher, so I will be almost working at 100% commission each time if it's an international client. And this is literally what you would like to have. Of course, you don't cap all the time, so you can take this away, or whatever. You can play a little bit with this kind of structure. And also, don't forget that these equities rewards, these ones need to be vested for 3 years. But by the time 3 years has passed, this can be, if this 2,000 can be actually 6,000, if not 10,000, depending on how the market is moving. But with the exponential business model of EXP, this will definitely have a lot more chance to become a lot more higher. Also, don't forget, again, you have 10% discount on this one. So if these ones are tradable right away, the equity share. So if you put it into equity share at, let's say it's 10,000 Rand, you get 10% discount, so you actually get 11,000 Rand. You trade it right away, you actually made already a bit, if you take it out, you already made 1,000 Rand profit. Footnote, there's obviously a little bit of a transaction fee on that to take out money as well. And then also, because we are here with equity share and equity rewards and etc., that means that you create ownership of your company, of EXP or World Holdings, which is also tech and media companies, etc., Success and Frame VR and all these kind of companies. They will help you to grow this. And this means that you have co-ownership of a company, and that is really the way why EXP is highly collaborative, because we are part owner of the company. And this entails as well, if we have own shares, that we also will get dividends. And because it's such a small part compared to, of a percentage compared to the ownership in total of EXP World Holdings 100% shares, you probably hold with 0.0001% or whatever it might be, but still you will be able to get a bit of dividends, but this will be rather small depending on how much your funds are on the platform here. Can be about $10 or so every time they take out dividends, etc. Yeah. Compared to Grant, you can see that there's quite a bit of a difference if you work from a buyer's perspective. Yeah. Also here, he can, for example, say, okay, why did he sell the property? Maybe we can focus now on buying a property for him, and now he becomes a buyer's agent from being selling a property of a seller. Yeah. So you can really make this recurring if you do your job right and you retain your client by giving them so much services that other people don't do. You will be very easy. It becomes pretty easy to retain a client. Now you need to follow up, got your CRM in place, etc., to keep in touch with your client. Now, from the passive income, they are, like I mentioned, they are paying. Maybe they buy another property somewhere else in Panama, where it's very good from a tax perspective. A tax haven for internationals. I think you only have to stay there a few days per year. I'm not 100% sure how long, but it's very brief. So you can say, they buy property for 200,000 euros or whatever it might be. That results in 4 million rand. You probably get here again some 15,000 rand on that month. Yeah, that can really change your life for the better. Same with insurances or short-term rentals. I put my short-term rentals, for example, now to the seller that invested in a property. I want to put him on a short-term rental. I work with Keith, another downline member of mine, team member. So have a commission split. I just put 5,000 here, but that can be anything between, depending on the value of the property, but that can be 1,200 for a two-bedroom apartment on a monthly basis, as long as they are clients. Well, it's probably going to be a bit more, but uh, you also have managed air. If it's a property Keith doesn't want to do, I can do it with managed air. That gives me 15% revenue share. But this can be, if you do it with Keith, depending on your commission split and the feasibility for the project, it can be 5,000, can be 10,000, can be whatever you discuss. Yeah. So I'll just put it on 5,000, not to overextend myself. This shows me that, okay, now I have already a passive revenue stream every single month for this much. Now, don't forget that this is here only about the transaction of a sale, and I'm not even talking about the commission from Frame VR, for example. That will become a bit more lucrative and have affiliate programs. I'm talking about Arctur 360, which has a revenue share over three different revenue streams. So that's also nice. And then there's other partners as well that you can just implement for yourself. So that's pretty cool to really leverage this. I don't like management rentals for the main reason because there's a lot of work on it. I like to get my money up front because if I invest it, I will make a whole lot of more than 2% commission split, 2% extra commission that you will be paid out. The last payout that you will get is, in a year from now, and then as long as they become clients, but showing that rentals are usually is an average period of about 1.4 months. To me, it doesn't make any sense. It comes along with a lot of problems, a lot of communication, and I'd rather do a procurement rental if I do procurement. And this will, this revenue streams is basically passive revenue streams, real passive revenue stream, because this will not um, entail more management, more time. You want to trade time for money to a certain degree. Time is the only asset in for everyone that nobody can gain. Everybody loses time. So most people trade time for money and then you want to come into a situation where you can start not trading your time for money and do whatever you want to do with your life and trade money for money. And how do we do that? Well, I will come to that just now. And with what funds. So I will now talk about the comparison between traditional brokerage and myself here with EXP with the results that I got here. Yeah. And here. So John Doe, 10 million rand, 5%, 50-50 split. Traditional brokerage do is 50 split with his agency. He makes 125,000 euro rand. Sorry, I make 241. That's almost twice as much. And if I kept, I make 306,000 rand, which is almost, well, not three times, but 2.5 times as much. And that is obviously before tax, but you can see the difference that it entails to come with EXP and work on your own power, on your own vision, with your own marketing strategies, on your own niche. Do when you want it, how you want it, as long as you obviously follow the policies of EXP South Africa. I calculated the difference here, and why do I calculate the difference here is because this difference, yeah, is where your wealth creation lays and your scalability. This is the money that you can put back into marketing efforts to improve your marketing mix or your mandate journey of for sellers, or alternatively put in investment like gold or silver. Silver is a very good investment. Bitcoin or stuff like that. If you're a fan of blockchain technology, but also obviously art, property, etc., etc. Or you want to hire some people. It's also, you can also see it as an investment to hire a PA, for example. You can put some budget into that as well. Don't forget that all the stuff that you earn here and you put into marketing stuff, or you put in, if you put it as a cost, you invest in stuff, uh, depending on what investment, you will be able to deduct that from your taxes as well, because now you take that money, you buy something with it, and now you deduct it from this way so that you not pay tax on the full amount here, but this minus that, which is quite incredible to to leverage your wealth. Now, what I personally do is I take this money and I focus this on extra marketing, but I also focus this in an investment, but not, well, investment in several things. I have several cryptocurrencies, I have property, I have uh, 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 I'm buying gold at the moment. Well, next week I'm gonna buy some gold and silver. And the other stuff that I use is I put this money now into a loan to my own company where I'm director of, together with a business partner. So I put a loan, a personal loan to Velcro for at a prime rate interest rate at 11.75. That means I invest, let's say, this much money coming from here, invest this much money in my business, and the gain will be 21,000 Rand, a bit more than that on a yearly basis on the prime rate. But now, this the reason why we do that is because this money will fund to buy Belcro properties. Yeah. So Belcro is buying properties, and the loan that we have will be paid back by the rental that we get. 11.75 prime rate is still cheaper than if you get it to the bank, because the bank will charge you also monthly fees and bond registration, etc. So even though we sit at 11.75, we still have a very good structure to pull money out of the business in a nice way that is also a little bit more tax interesting. So now we have Velcro that receives the rent, pays back the bonds. We can also obviously, compound this interest. So let's say we have this amount invested year one. This is our gain. So now we have this plus that. Oh, this plus this. Yes, so year gain year two in total. I think I made a mistake here. What? No, no, okay, that's good. Gain year two will be then the same here is this times this. Right, so now it's year two, you make 23 if you kept that 21,000 in there. So that's how you compound. And if you keep that for 10 years, your income is gonna skyrocket as well in that regard. So now we get this income stream, which is income stream one. Now we have this as well. We pay salaries, which we can put, for example, we pay salary, very low salary. This is now about 10,000 Rand, because the tax on a low salary like this is practically nothing. So this is income stream two that is a lot less taxable than, my income here. If you're doing a very good job and you start to make a lot of money, then you become in a high tax bracket, which is not interesting. So now we can do that, and then obviously we can decide with my business partner and myself when we take dividends out, which is also a lower taxed as higher salaries. So depending on this and this, you can just decide how much you take out and then take dividend tax on that. So this can be then income stream three, from your investment part. So now in the end of the day, you have leveraged all of that to create three different revenue streams. Yes, you have to put this back, but if you would work at a traditional brokerage, you would not even have this, meaning you would not even have this, and you would not even have this. So that is the difference to me with EXP South Africa. This is how you scale, and this is what I mean to step back from sales and become a CEO. I'm not saying that you don't have to do sales, because sales is still the motor Sales is still the motor of your business, but now you will be able to to do sales, but leverage the income to make your passive income, not have to focus too much on on working till you're 70 as a commission earner and not knowing what next month is gonna bring. So yeah, this is somewhat the bonus, and want to thank you for attending. I hope to see you guys soon and maybe other kind of series that I will be hosting. Maybe we'll talk a bit about tax as well. I have a very good tax consultant and might actually do something with EXP and Ryan, my accountant, as well. All right. Wishing you guys the best and yeah, have a good day. Bye bye.